Dr. Bruce, it's been a great lecture today, and just wondered, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm from South Carolina area. I've been able to practice and teach in South Carolina and the world, and how to do occlusion and how to understand the joints and aesthetic dentistry. So I've been very blessed to have an opportunity to do all those things.
And what's your biggest motivation?
That's an excellent question. My biggest motivation for teaching and traveling the world comes from individuals like one of your members today,
Yeah.
who told me after 40 years of practicing, he finally understands the joint and how the bite works.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
know, and that's extremely rewarding personally when individuals finally get it. When the light bulb goes off, and one of your members said it's like the fog has cleared. They had taken every occlusion course they could take and everything, and finally they've got an understanding of
Yeah.
how the system works and how to use it in their practice. That's
Yeah,
key.
That's
'cause
key,
you-
yeah. That's great. And I also heard a little thing about that you have these summer brainstormings.
Yeah, we do. A good friend of mine, a guy named Dave Newkirk, and he's from Chicago, Illinois. Him and I get together every summer, and what we do is we actually go through the literature and we try to come up with topics that are challenging within the literature, whether it's occlusion. One topic we covered was the gummy smile, how to analyze and manage and diagnose the gummy smile. But we pick certain topics and we go through it, and we're able to create a system so that any dentist can understand it.
Yes,
So-
it's amazing. You have this way of making things simple. And I know there's a lot of that goes into it,
Yeah.
and that's great.
No.
You run a private practice in South Carolina.
I do.
And are most of your patients like patients with problems in the joints, or?
Well, that's a good question. I do see more patients than normal that have joint problems because other dentists refer them to me if they're not sure what to do with them. But I do have just a general practice.
Yes.
You know, I've got like an average practice. You know, I don't have a lot of CEOs and you know, richer people coming to see me. I have the average school teacher, you know, assembly line worker, and
Yeah.
just average people. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, function comes before aesthetics. And my question is, how did you learn your aesthetics?
Most of my aesthetic training came from Frank Spear, predominantly. Dr. Dawson and I spent some time too as well learning the aesthetic principles that you needed to know that go along with function. The key that I see a lot of times is we as dentists get so hung up on aesthetics
Yeah.
that we leave the functional part out of
Yes.
it. And so my goal was, and always is, and when I'm teaching, is to create a simplistic way of learning. So that's what you were talking
Yeah,
about
yes,
earlier.
yes.
My goal is how can I create a system or a way of understanding how a system works in a very simplistic way.
Yes.
So
And I think in the SACD we are trying to, comprehensive. There isn't a word in Swedish for comprehensive.
Right.
But that's taking all these things and putting them together.
right.
And has the AACD been important for you?
The AACD has been really important to me. I had a chance to become accredited a number of years back. That was a really fantastic process. I would encourage everyone to go through. It's strenuous and tough, but it's worth it. And so the AACD was certainly influential in aesthetic training. The key in everything that we are learning together,
Yes.
and as we're all learning, is making sure that we do things in a complete way, that we don't leave out function and just do aesthetics, or just do function and forget aesthetics.
Yeah.
So keeping the system complete.
Yes.
One thing I would like to say is a personal thank you to you, the SACD, for
Yes.
having me come. And it's been truly an honor and a privilege to spend time here with the members that you have in the beautiful area of Stockholm. And so very blessed and honored to be here. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.